Salute families, thank Commander Zulu and the Real Man Movement. I just had to go ahead and post this on Instagram because I saw something that I thought I'd never see in my life. I just saw a grown man walking down the street with a hula hoop around his waist. He wasn't carrying it, he was wearing it. A hula hoop. No, not for real men. Somebody please, if you see him, guide him to the YouTube channel, Tank Commander Zulu and the Real Man Movement, and make him subscribe. Tank Commander Zulu. Salute family, it's Tank Commander Zulu back at you once again, and the Real Man Movement. I want to give a special shout out to all the subscribers, all of you guys that have been watching the videos, sharing them with friends, leaving a comment, and giving the videos a thumbs up. All of this helps with the availability of the videos so that this Real Man Movement can continue to move forward. It's all about positive male enforcement, y'all, and we all can use it, whether you're male or female. Today, I want to talk about true lies. Are you the producer of a true lie? Let's talk about it here today with Tank Commander Zulu and the Real Man Movement. Fire in the hole, baby. Hey, when you can't get to the bench and max out, this is what you need to do. Somebody asked me, how much weight you put on there? You put on enough weight on there till they can't have no more room. See, there's no more room to put weight. That's how much. Let's get to it, Real Man Movement. Somebody say, how much is that? More than you can lift. Salute family, it's Tank Commander Zulu and the Real Man Movement. Before we go in to the topic of discussion today, which is true lies, I would like to invite everyone to become a subscriber of the channel. Doesn't cost you anything. Subscribe to Tank Commander Zulu and also follow me on IG at tank.commander.zulu. We are all in need of this positive male enforcement today. Get on the tank with the Tank Commander. And also make sure when you watch the videos, give it a thumbs up. All of this means something. It will make the videos more readily available to someone who's in need of this positive male enforcement. Back to the topic of discussion today. True lies. Are you the producer of true lies, or are you the victim of true lies? What is a true lie? Well, a true lie is someone that's partially telling the truth. In other words, there's some truth inside of their lie. It's actually someone just simply telling you a lie that's 90% lie and 10% truth. That's a true lie. At the end of the day, it's still just a lie, but there's some truth inside of that lie. So here at the Real Man Movement, we call it what it is. It's a true lie, which is not beneficial to the person who is receiving this true lie. You know the one thing about a true lie? It almost sounds really convincing. It sounds like what the person is telling you is the actual truth. Although part of you knows that it's not. Part of you may disagree with it, but the person that's producing the true lie is so slick with it, so smooth with it, that you almost forget about your apprehensions that you had prior to them telling you this true lie, and you submit totally to the true lie. You receive the true lie, which causes death. It causes a destruction. It causes a deterioration. Come on, young bull. Real man movement. Press. Press. Don't stop. Come on. Ah. There you go. Fight. Woo. Real man movement, baby. You know, many times I've been told true lies. You know, some truth was in it, but a lot of lie was also inside of it. And because the lie was inside of it, what I thought was truth couldn't really take me to the place that I was trying to go. Because the lie inside of that truth was stopping me. It was preventing me from attaining the goal that I was set to attain. I was set to go and attain a certain goal based off facts. But by me receiving a true lie from someone else, it hindered me from getting to my goal. Me accepting that true lie. You know, it comes with a smile, comes with subtleness, it comes with sweet language, and it also tries to produce its own set of common sense principles around that lie. Now, this is things you got to look out for, y'all, when someone is throwing you a true lie. And that when you receive it, none of the things that you were really searching for are produced. Now, there's some things that are produced inside of that true lie. Because there may be 10% of truth inside of the 90% of the lie. You may see the 10%, but at what cost? What kind of cost does it bring to a real man who accepts and is found believing a true lie? All kinds of situations can take place with a true lie. You know, there's a place in the Bible, in the book of Genesis chapter 3, and it talks about Adam and Eve, God creating the earth and taking Adam and putting him in charge. He creating a beautiful garden called Eden, with everything that man would need inside of it. Everything Adam would need, and Eve inside of this garden. But he gives them one instruction, that in the midst of the garden, there's a tree that's called the knowledge of good and evil that you don't touch. Don't touch that tree, or you will surely die. Any other tree inside of that is yours. We're talking about only 2 people in there. Everything that they had or needed was provided for them by God in this Garden of Eden. But the way the story goes is that Satan, the devil, comes up in the form of a snake and starts dealing with Eve in the midst of the garden. And Satan convinces Eve with a subtle demeanor. He's nice, he's smiling, he's saying everything that she wants to hear about this tree in the midst of the garden that God has already warned Adam. And Adam has told Eve not to touch that tree or they will surely die. But now you got to remember what kind of tree this is. This is a tree that will give you the knowledge of good and evil. And God says, stay away from that tree. Now, in the midst of that garden was also the tree of life. He didn't tell him to stay away from the tree of life, but stay away from that tree of the knowledge of good and evil. for his reasons. Knowing that when Eve was faced with the serpent, the snake, or whatever you want to call the creature, who was actually just Satan, faced with him telling her a true lie, because Satan goes on to tell her something that is 10% true but 90% lie. Satan tells her, listen, you can eat from this tree. The tree, look at the fruit. Eve looks at the fruit and it looks good. Look at the meat of the fruit, and she looks at it and all of that looks right, looks good. And Eve told him, God said that if we eat from this tree, we will surely die. That's the truth. Now here comes the lie from the devil. The devil says, you will not surely die. God just knows that when you eat from this tree, you will become a god like him. Truth. As far as knowing the difference between good and evil. That's the truth. But the lie was that you will not surely die. Eve believed it. So she partook of the fruit and ate it. She gave some also to Adam, who was in the area. And when he came back, she gave some to him. And once Adam consumed that fruit, the transgression took place. The death of humanity, that they would have to die. And God also removed them from the garden so that they would not get smart and say, let me go back to the tree of life so I won't have to die. I'll just keep eating from the tree of life, although I've made this transgression towards God. God had them escorted out of the garden and had his cherubims protect the garden and protect the tree of life so they would not be able to go and partake of the fruit of the tree of life. You see, they had already created the biggest and ultimate sin towards God, and that was disobedience. You see, look, disobedience will cost you your life, but it was all because of a true lie. What was true that Satan was saying was that you will become like God. You will be able to know the difference between good and evil. That was true. But the lie was when he said, you will surely not die. That was the lie. The lie that makes everything else irrelevant. No matter what gain you think you may have gotten from it, it makes everything else irrelevant. That truth is irrelevant because now you told that lie. And because the lie was so persuasive and you went along with it, now you have to suffer the conditions of that lie. That's what happened in the Garden of Eden, y'all. And it happens to us many times. You see, a lot of times we're told things that we believe are true. And a part of it may be true. But inside of that truth, we are also told the lie by some people. In other words, people adding on to the truth, making it seem like it's bigger and better than it really is. A part of you can know by knowledge or by sound wisdom and advice that that lie that's being told to you has been told that that's not true by people of wisdom, by someone of substance. In this example, by God himself. But because a person who knows how to tell a true lie is so convincing that you believe it all. And before you know it, you take steps that cause a death. You know, many people do this in relationships, where one person tells just a part of the situation without telling it all, and get you involved in their situation that you weren't clear about, that causes a death, and you knew better. If you ever had to do something or done something that you didn't want to do because you knew better. And you wound up doing it anyway because you were softly talked into it. You see, with couples, in particular married couples, sometimes the man or the woman, it doesn't matter who it is, will be talked into a financial obligation or a situation that the other person really doesn't want to be a part of, because they may have saw their family members go down that road and create debt. They may have saw someone that they love go down that road and create debt. But because this person is so beguiling, and some of the things they're telling you are based off of lies, untruths. A situation, listen, if you ever sign a contract and you borrow money from anyone and the interest rate is 40%, I'm just going to use 40% as a high end, but I've seen crazier cases. And someone can actually sit down with you that say they love you, and you know that you don't want to incorporate any more debt. I really don't want to do this thing. But they tell you based on, well, in this program, we don't have to worry about this. They're saying this and that in the program, and some of it is true. 90% of it is a lie, but only 10% of what they're saying is true. They're going to give you the money. Yes, sir. But you probably won't even in your lifetime be able to pay it back. You'll never be able to start paying on the principal. And all you're doing is creating a debt. That's creating a death in you. You see, that's the kind of person that's a victim to a true lie. But that person is dealing with a true lie. And that is the results of a true lie. It exists in many areas of our lives. There's people out there today that will even tell you things concerning your health that are true lies. It's a true lie. If anyone tells you that you can put a steroid in your body, I'm talking about a synthetic version of testosterone, continually in your body for years and years and years, and don't say that you're going to have some negative side effects because of it, that's a lie. All they're telling you are the benefits of the testosterone. Oh, you're going to be young, you're going to be strong, you're going to be this, you're going to be that. Listen, God made the human body and because of the transgression in the garden, because Eve was beguiled and she ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and she gave Adam of that same fruit and he ate of it, that I don't care what you do, how well you try to eat, how well you try to exercise, you will die. That's truth. And all of that was based on the principle that took place in the book of Genesis in chapter 3 because of disobedience. But people today will have you eat from that same tree. And I'm using the steroid thing for an example. I'm using the relationship for an example, where there's a such thing as true lies. Yeah, the steroid will make you stronger, but it also will deteriorate you from inside out. It's truth. Can't get around it. Sure, you can go get a loan with a 40%, 30, 20% interest rate. Yeah, you will get the money. Truth. Will you be able to pay it back? Will you ever be able to pay on the principal? If hard times come and you can't make a payment, what are the penalties involved? That's the part that kills you. It can kill relationships. It can make you and your wife or your husband separate from each other because of financial difficulties. And you find out one was holding this back from the other one, and the other one didn't know about it, and those kind of things. True lies. True lies produce death. Listen, be careful about receiving things from people. We have to make sure and ensure what's being told to us is not only the truth, but that we research it, we pray, and ask God to give us the direction and understanding on the matter of it being true or not. We can find ourselves in a terrible situation by receiving true lies. Now, if you are a producer of true lies, because in that same story, God penalized Eve, he also penalized the devil. He was penalized. You see, we don't get away with a true lie. When you receive a true lie, you don't get away with anything. When you produce a true lie, you don't get away with anything. God sees it all. But he allows us as men and women to see it all when we trust him. So don't be a producer of true lies. Be a real man. Don't be a receiver of true lies. When you detect it for what it is, be a real man. Throw that advice away. Do your research. Stand on your own 2 feet. Strengthen your spirit, mind, and body, y'all. That's what it's all about here at the Real Man Movement. We leave no stone unturned, baby. And with that, that's all I have today. Thank you for rocking on the tank with Tank Commander Zulu. Rock steady.